tournament. Surely, Mongols, this should be the bar.
Should have and could have closed this one in 2. 3D Max, can they kick it off with another pistol win? Both pistols on Inferno, one of them in the opening map of Ancients. And they will sink their teeth into this B bomb site, currently occupied by 3 Mongols members. Yeah, you just got shut out, buddy. Bombs down, all too easy. The only kill that comes back thus far is the Maka P250 tap. And then a long-range USP fight at hand. We've already seen a damn near 1v5 from the French in this series. Why not?
Keeps checking it. Flanks coming in slowly. Bomb still here on the site. So, I mean, this play from Blitz just sets it up so that they can sit here, be patient, and stay forward and everything like that. Maka gets spotted again. And it feels like it's only a matter of time before 3, 2, 1 that he gets... Oh!
Oh!
Killed. I don't always try the Gervin guarantee.
No.
And
no, you don't.
I gotta say, when I do it, I'm right.
Not even close.
You know what he was smart to do, though? He went for left, left, right.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't done that,
things get weird.
Things get very weird.
You gotta laugh those off. So Mongols start this with the pistol win.
But like, what does Blitz's face look like in that situation?
Even
a smirk?
No, the same it always looks. Blitz is all business.
What are you laughing about, Mzinho? I did that for the money. For us. For the family.
Careful, careful. Mac 10s and Tech 9s knocking on the door of this bomb site. Even with the 2 first frags, it's not comfortable for the guys still left on site, but this big wrap from 910 as the M4 is now in Maka's hands. Kind of stuck along this wall, but trying to fight for control of E-Box. Ooh, MP9 denies him. Mac 10 hits the ground. It's just the Tech 9s needed, and Lucky, whoa, hits him with the drive-by. Racks up a little bit of extra cost, sure enough, but it's the Blitz defuse, and it's all good for the Mongols. So what if it's a little pricey? It's M4 saved.
So what?
So what?
So what?
Get out of here.
I love this Tech 9 pop. I think it's a super strong. I think not smoking default in the standard way is better because you want to take the fight versus back default, especially on a Tech 9 round. It's not a great place to stand in the first place, and maybe it's too much to use on a round where you have like full guns. But in a situation like that, you want to take some open fights. You have really great ways to flash into the site, and you've got a lot of T advantages coming in too. So, okay. Good effort. 3 kills. Not bad. 30 max.
Double up in long A has been here since the start. Haven't tried to prod anything in terms of the 3 max setup. And now they'll trickle down ever closer. Mac 10 at the front of it. (910) doesn't realize it yet, but he is in a dire position, and his support starts to look over towards camera, trying to send flashes out middle instead.
Yeah, it's like if they don't flash, and if they do flash, he can be there. Very annoying here for 3D Max. They were readying this attack. This kind of ruins things. They're going to have to jump through.
Ooh, full white. That flash saves it. Second player can't deny everybody that does barrel through. And so 3D Max go charging headstrong into this A site. Lucky hangs off for the flank. We had a little jostling of control over towards E-Box, so he should be prepared for it. Techno comes stomping upwards, gets a little awkward, still collects his kill. Blitz comes out from storage, double kill, and a chance a little bit more. But Maka's gonna catch him off guard, and there's no immediate trade out of Senzu as he's now tasked to clutch. fire doesn't burn him all the way out into the crosshair. Trying to piece together these duels won't happen, and 3D Max make it through that forward 9-10 setup.
Wasn't a comfortable spot with the smoke being so fresh, and with a setup on A main, they had every right to stand there, but obviously they needed one player to get 2 kills. That was the only way they were going to stop that getaway and delay for time. So painted into a corner. They decide to flash through this, and the flash is excellent. Obviously, they have that lined up. So fair enough. At least they didn't lose the round.
Fast to the action, though.
Oh, what a shot. Scout headshot.
All right, through the edge of E-Box. Body's smoke spam collects one back, and that MAC-10 goes just prancing into the bomb site. No issue for Gravity as he turns this back around towards the 9-10 deagle flank. Blitz already going to show his hand. Not a great duel for him. AK trained on the flank. All's good here for 3D Max. Surviving a bit of pressure from the Mongols as they look to fight fire with fire in the 4th. Fast duels queued up, and we start to tap back into the ferociousness of this head-to-head in terms of tempo.
On paper, it's a map that makes sense, I think, for 3D Max, especially when it comes to the B-Pops. Entry power is everything on Anubis. That's got to be the main strength for 3D Max, and just trying to support behind that, right? So the tactics, that's where the rubber meets the road for 3D Max. It's the tactics into, one player being able to multi on entries. And with the addition of body, it sort of leans into that strength more.
Sometimes can end up being a bit more of a glass cannon when the entries don't come with ease, but a round like this should be smooth sailing. Expose the guy in window and follow through. MAC-10 full steam ahead, and there ain't no stopping him. Bomb site to be taken, bomb surely to be planted, and Lucky just doesn't want to be the next casualty, but he is. Gets popped by the 9-10 Desert Eagle, so a couple of costs racked up, but Gravity should still be able to find an upgrade unless Techno steals it. Yoink. Taking a sniff at this bomb site, Senzu. Definitely a price tag to rack up, but not the case. Majority survive here for 3D Max. A couple of very quick rounds back-to-back from the bridge to B, from mid to A. Just going to soak up a few free rounds while they can. That is 3 in a row for the French.
It'll have to be a good T-start. I mean, this is a map where very clearly when they switch over, it's going to be a lot of problems. On Inferno, it was like, okay, but I think, maybe 3D Max can still close on CT's side, and it ends up also being a very close map, but they do it. And 3D Max, for the first time, don't have a good start, yet they still take the lead.
Body catching opening kills versus the guns.
Very low econ round out of the Mongols too, so they need the kills because Utility's not going to let them draw this one out.
Kills could come by way of River. Looking to push the canal.
Default has to be a little bit rigorous here. I mean,
we got a glimpse of the drop down, but then Macca's smoke clears out. Blitz gonna catch that one player over towards B, but there's still this pack down in the waterways, and they're gonna work this towards what? It's a double back, a pause, a stutter here for 3D Max.
Yeah, I mean, they wisely go back, and you see that Blitz thinks that they're gonna hit it back to the B site. His rotation now will be slowed down.
Senzu gets in position in time, but that's a 4-player strong pack for 3D Max. On the brink of an A site, wide swing in with no resistance, and Gravity punches in the digits. Blitz may be close, but he is certainly outnumbered. Supported forward, this SMG. Into the upgrade goes Gravity, 3D Max. Looked like they could have gotten caught as they trickled down from Rugs, but that is a strong statement as they go 4 straight.
Yeah, it's perfect defense in the default. It's an aggressive bit of canal control out of Mongols, which I love. I think that's a play that makes sense. I think it's even relatively unexplored in terms of one CT option that can be aggressive. That's hard to stop. You see Vitality use that a lot with Rops getting out, and there are spots where you can stand and really wait by yourself for a long time. But 3D Max deal with it comfortably. They don't get worried behind the stair smoke. They are pushing out of rugs at the perfect time. Yeah, their aim is looking solid.
Yeah. Well oiled, but 5-7s to the back of the heads between Blitz and Senzu. Gotta be careful when you're tiptoeing your way through the minefield that is the Mongols. Nothing beyond those two 5-7s, so a strong recovery from 3D Max. This is starting to look a little too one-sided.
They are looking for the upset to start the, well, actually, we already got one. Rare Adam taking down Virtus Pro.
Yeah, 2-0.
And not even just close games, smashing them.
Not even competitive.
No. Wow, Maka, 156 ADR, 11-3 on the start.
It's an excellent start from him. And one that makes up for the weakest performance so far this series from Exercise. He had two 1.3 ratings or more.
His average will be good if they really keep cleaning up here.
Yes, sir. Even on that ancient loss, leaps and bounds above the rest. Trying to be the savior of the day, sets them up for Maka's strong performance. The AKs and with sights set on this B site. Again, 3D Max, there's a certain bit of conviction in their steps. Adamant about these opening moves. Spam comes out, that's 3 players strong for the Mongols here on B. Is it enough to deter 3D Max? It's a good amount of damage.
This is weird. Yeah, they have to commit, right?
Still gonna try to follow through. They're not gonna find anybody in the open. Senzu on the reload. Techno peels one off of the bomb site. Still, it gets a little squirrely, and they're able to come up with all the kills. Triple for the Mongols. It is a lot of pressure to follow through, and a confident hold out of the Mongols as they were ready for that one.
So those are the standard smokes I was talking about, in contrast to their eco smokes, which is the actually more simple exec, but requires more fights. But you can see the advantages the CTs have behind those smokes. The lineups towards B main are way easier when you have the standard default smokes. If you have the deeper ones, there's no actual angle for you to fight or just go forward with the spam. So I don't know. This is a spot where they know they have to come through. It's very early in the round. They aren't rushing entirely, so they have to come through a smoke as they blow it open. They need their teammate on the way in. They don't have a player on the other side of the map to like have any kind of lead to leave. So I think they put a lot of undue pressure on themselves to make that happen. But for the Mongols, they had great angles, solid positions, easy spans. Now it's just like that previous round. The first one that got them into the game, they got Mzinho blind. And it looks like they might do it again, but this one's a little earlier.
9-10 supports from Fountain. Misses his second shot and gets struck down. Gravity in between the two. Mzinho just pelted by
utility. Threw all their utility, man.
Yeah,
they're going to go forward with this.
Absolutely dumped it. But do they drop it? No. So far, so good. And they double down onto the bricks. So Lucky supporting forward. Flash out through the windows from Exercise. And man advantage for 3D Max. Challenge off of Heaven. Senzu tries to just thrust himself into the mix. And now Techno gonna have to just step his way appropriately between the two. Gets a little more damage in, but Exercise keeps his head down and keeps the 3D Max rounds rolling.
Yeah, they do, man. Again, not the prettiest situation here on the attack from 3D Max, where they showed their whole hand. They decided to use all their utility. They aren't running in off of flashes. I think they keep one trailing, though. So there's like Mzinho blind in the sight as they get in a little bit afterwards. But a couple of bad sprays out of the Mongols on a very simplistic strat. It's fine here for 3D Max. Again, we're at the deeper end of their map pool. This is not exactly where they're always winning. So the fact that they're in a decider is already very impressive. Now they're actually getting the scrappy rounds out on the T side. They have a very comfortable lead. I think it's the Mongols who are going to be quite disappointed in themselves, especially with how some of these holds have gone. And this is around 9-10 gets the first kill. on the exact. The utility comes out way too early after the attack, and they still just win all these raw fights.
I hope that's a feature, not a flaw. Let's keep that in.
Let's keep it in.
That's cool. I'll keep that reverb going.
Really auto-tune it. Take it to the next level.
Nice. Okay, ambitious.
That was crazy. I mean, he ran so deep in that molly, I don't even know if he gets out alive.
I don't know either. Felt like a one at most type moment there from 9-10. Bolstered, of course, by the two players behind him, so not just this two-player setup, and also double op, right? That's why he gets so crazy. Why would you ever expect it? Blitz picks it up, posts it on the same angle. But now just stoic for the moment. The Mongols not wanting to overstep as this full-blown commitment comes in the other side of the map. Exorcist on high alert, waits for this kind of a challenge. Blitz is able to collect Senzu in from jail with a chance to hold it all back. It was a lot of pressure on him. And obviously Blitz, it's not an ideal position to be in, but he does have full nades. Swap to the AK. Had a chance to run down this bomb site. No kit, but he'll play for it. Front-facing player inside of sight is Lucky. And an incendiary to clear out the pillar. Nobody home. Off angle from Lucky's gonna catch you off guard. 7-3. 3D Max trouncing Mongols at the moment.
100%. And their opening play from 9-10 looks absolutely insane. I don't know if this molly was something they anticipated. Probably not. But he also, I mean, maybe it's a different round if he doesn't miss his shot. I think that's the other part to this. Looked like he was going to die no matter what, but even with the commitment, misses when he tries to adjust. It sets up a 5v4. It's really nice for 3D Max, and the close is fantastic. It's one situation where they don't get over enthusiastic, regroup towards B, play solid advantages to the end of the round. Close. No one watching this.
Well, Body was, nice. But has he let them get too much? Double kill off of the bridge, but down goes the second rifle that Mongols had to work with. So it's a bit of a recovery, you know, but Body will make up for it. Little bit of slack, not too much to deal with. Mongols still sitting on 3 as 3D Max feast on this T side.
Man, bellissimo here. It's literally the pistol, one conversion, and one rifle round for the Mongols.
Yeah, that's it. Should Blitz have gotten away with the first 2 kills? Maybe not. Does Body make up for it? Absolutely. Obviously, 3D Max no longer worried about economy as they have gotten so deep into this T side with very few struggles. Final attempt for the Mongols to collect that 4th round of a defense. Good distraction offered up by the offer. M4 only with the 1.
The entry power. And
there's nobody else close enough in sight yet. Blitz smoked off for the time being. 3D Max hit the pause button for a second. You've also got, of course, this E-box control from Techno. Blitz finds one through smoke, lines it up well. Blitz will get a second and a third to go with it. Smooth sailing in the final round. 1 for the road for the Mongols.
This matchup's great, man. It's like a death match every single round. Everybody is happy to take those fights. So a 4-round lead, that's fantastic. It's not as crushing, though, versus an elite, team like the Mongols compared to a 9-3 scoreline. There's still going to be some pressure, I think, on 3D Max to pick up the second pistol. I hate to say it, even with a lead like this, they know they haven't closed the game, and these guys play very close. But right now, uncharted territory here for 3D Max. They could have won this in 2. They're still playing well on the 3rd map. They're trying to take down their arch nemesis in the Mongols, and this would definitely turn some heads for them at an event like this. Tournament favorites may be down on day 1.
So Mongols with a rare amount of time off between events, a chance to go home, catch their breath, a break for once.
That's why you don't take breaks.
Counter-Strike waits for no one. 3D Max also given a chance, I think, to cook in between events. We're talking about a team that hasn't played since Pro League. Ooh, XRC kicks it off. Okay. Bodies Beretta's inside of the double doors. 5v3 looks good on 3D Max. Again, stomp this out before it has a chance to really ignite the comeback.
They both dropped.
Yeah.
They both dropped bridge. They were listened to, and the bomb can rotate back around. This is the only way back in for the Mongols.
But what's the bomb do? Cross the bridge? Because now with players on Canal, that A player is going to get found out.
Yep.
Bomb is able to get down through camera. 3D Max trying to attack the back line as 910 goes back to try to hold this off. Molotov will keep them at bay.
Allows the plan.
Guaranteed. Blitz punches it in. No threat up from heaven. Storage control can be taken over by 910. Bomb planted behind Cake. And you've got 3D Max already out from long. Those dual Berettas, all that's left now. Able to get into the site, but the headshots connect for the Mongols. And is that bridge push their mistake?
That was a huge mistake. I mean, that was a massive gap that they left open. And they just didn't think anybody else was holding or listening. But do they need to chase down what wasn't even a B split? There actually was just one person outside of B. Well, clearly not. So that's a way back into the game for the Mongols. Got to be careful when you give out those. You can see how much changes, right? Like with mid, you have a rotation of both sides. When you drop like that, now suddenly you're, useless when it comes to, well, defending against mid. That was creepy.
Liege would spray into that pack and get all 5 headshots, though. You can try your best to offset the crosshair.
All red bubbles to him. Red balls.
Pop them. Drop them.
Like Orville Red and Baka. Make his Bacchus. Cranberry Bacchus.
Knock, knock. Nobody home. A site clear for the taking. Will the 5v3 double bridge push be what comes back to haunt 3D Max for eternity?
All you had to do was nothing.
Like the ghosts of their ancestors. Hiding behind every corner. The thought of what could have been if only we could beat the Mongols. History dictates that you can't. Even a map win. Elusive. Can their first map win in quite some time come with a match win? Time will tell.
Anubis, CT side, max difficulty, nightmare difficulty.
Blitz is starting to get into like the pop-off territory.
Yeah, he had a pair of really good rounds. End of the half, start of the next one. 2 key moments. So again, not the 9-3 start, little pressure on the pistol, and literally the game is nearly tied up. 3D Max. They have to ascend.
Ascension was the key word that the desk brought to the table today. Aptly put it. And now the true test starts. Smoked out for the time being. Mongols disengage. That 3D Max A setup starts to sniff out control for long, dropping an incendiary ahead of him. Gravity, what's your play?
Uh-oh.
Teammate falls back, he gets extinguished, he gets flashed. And that spam out from Senzu is a one and done. Lucky there.
That was an inherently flawed risk that he took. You can see from the protocols from the Mongols, like, if you get tagged in that molly, you can stand there, but you have no way to peek out wider.
Here comes the commitment, triple push into A. XRC's trying to drop utility. He's got a teammate to work with, Body hanging on, and now it just falls on to Blitz. First kill's connected. How much does he have to do on his own? 2 kills in, 2 to go. Swing out from camera, and the spray is just off the mark. Oh, what could have been. Lucky stands tall, and 3D Max collect their 9th.
Excellent trades, though, from 3D Max. I think that the first tactic that they try to use inside of E-Box, it's a happy moment for the Mongols. They're waiting for something like that to take place. They have the perfect utility to respond to any kind of aggression there. But when it came to the site trades on the A site, that is its own beast, man. That's actually a very hard thing to figure out. A lot of teams, even at the top, can't find out how to trade with more than one player without deep control of A main, and 3D Max did. They actually were very solid in that position. Really shows off how good their fragging has been, so they keep the lead. They extend it a little bit.
Fast peek.
And he doesn't come too soon enough.
Maka catching Senzu as well. 5 versus 3 for the double digits. The elusive double digits versus Mongols. 3D Max looking to do it back-to-back maps. Techno looking to scour over the smoke. He will find an angle onto Plat when he chooses to, but he doesn't actually use the bump. So Blitz decides to bounce over bridge. And Body right along the wall, cleans it up with the FAMAS. Really just sucking the life out of this round. Mongols down to just this contact out on A. Techno hits him with the op. That is the potential reopening of this bomb site, but utility comes back out of 3D Max in what should be a comfortable position. Flashbang stuns them. Lucky actually gives up his angle. That opens the door for Mzinho. Techno tries to cover, but he drops his teammate in the process. It's 2 kills in for Techno, the only success for the Mongols here in the 16th. And at 40 seconds, he scours that long control 3rd kill. And then the flank out from Body to close it. Double digits confirmed.
They had that one in the bag with the 2 players flanking. No way Techno could figure out he could escape through E-Box. And instead, we've got another win here for 3D Max to grab 10. They've been crushing so far. Didn't think we'd see the instant success on the rifles here on CT, but they are doing it.
Now just pistols too, so 3D Max, this is looking like that golden opportunity to finally get a series over Mongols. A day to improve.
I wonder if Blitz took a break. Because he kept talking about how much the guys need a break.
Yeah, he said, I just want to practice.
Yeah.
Like, you see what happens? This is your family now. Pistols won't mean too much. We got a team kill in the middle of it all. M4s want to get in on this. Bomb plant, a little silver lining here for the Mongols. But they haven't had these sorts of situations really pull through. Senzu would have to go God mode and only has 5 shots in the deagle, so 5 headshots demanded of him. Not going to happen. Not one frag comes out for the Mongols. Bomb plant's all they get. Comfortable 5-round lead for 3D Max. 2 rounds from the win.
I mean, now you just keep your head screwed on. You know that your A-site defense have good chemistry together. You've got some opening tactics that work. That play they got in the face of 9-10. When he tried to swing out B main, they were 1 step ahead of that. I would love to compare the 5v4s in this game and also the double entry stats out of 3D Max. I think that's been one of the most successful parts for them. They'll be a bit worried to think about the Mongols now as the tournament progresses based on this result. But at the same time, day 2, day 3, I know it'll be better. What I'm actually more curious about is how good can 3D Max be versus future competition. Maka, oh, he missed this. He missed this entirely, but he'll still get a kill off of it.
And gets back.
Whoa, MongolZ was not in a position to go for a swing.
Oh, no.
They can't let these go.
Maka dives away from the danger, chucking nades over top. Good thing MongolZ got off that position. But at the same time, it is MongolZ just looking for some kind of a thread to pull on. Anything like that. Lucky caught in transition as he looks to double down with his teammate inside of E-Box. Gravity now positioned here on his own. Exorcist to challenge out on A. Solo duel, no trade potential. Mac-10 holds it back. And now you've got yourself just 2 players left. A 12th round to be secured here for 3D Max, but an elusive Blitz gets into the back of the site instead. Techno still stuck in with all of them, and he can't escape alongside that bomb. Blitz has been the saving grace for the MongolZ throughout this decider map, and it looks like he will put that bomb down, barring bodies stopping him. Blitz drops into the bomb site, body emerging out from camera, could just end this round right here, but Blitz is given a chance to get that gun back in hand, turns around to Bricks, and Body just playing with him as the support comes through, and they will clear him out regardless. This CT side goes 4 rounds straight, plenty of chances to close this.
Smelled like a comeback was possible on Inferno, but this one doesn't really have the signs at all. Even though this is a T side of Anubis, it is such a big gap. It's also a pistol round 1 in the second half out of the MongolZ, and yet still, all of these CT rifle rounds, all their opening tactics are working out, and they're just fragging way better. You have one player who is doing anything on the MongolZ right now. Just so happens to be the one player who was talking about how much more he feels the team needs to practice, but it looks like the time off has affected them. He's one guy on 20 kills, top fragging on the server entirely. And honestly, the only success we've seen from them, the last round of the first half, the pistol round, it has Blitz's name written all over it.
This is a MongolZ with 2 pistol wins. This is a MongolZ with 2-0 starts to the halves. And still they will find nothing in the follow-through. MongolZ looking to get a trade back, but it comes at the cost of Blitz. And with their king down, nothing but pawns left on the table. MongolZ still trying to recover the round. Ooh, free B, you'd think, for Techno. Decides not to shoot. Lucky still the sitting duck. Would never see that one coming. And so the round reopened. The possibility of a B commitment seems very much on the table. Body doubles back from middle. 3D Max, first chance to close the series, may have eluded them. All because of Techno finding good tempo on the walkout into B.
Well, they had some pretty good retakes back on Ancient. 2 on 3, and the nades are excellent. 2 on 2 now.
All right, and that's going to send MongolZ scrambling, not to mention blocked off, unable to exit through camera. Still a couple more pieces of util to be thrown just to clear that close corner. Techno just a slightly off angle, MongolZ to clear it. Techno may be your round MVP, but it's a close from the kid. It's not 5 straight. 3D Max remain with plenty of chances.
So 1 foot in front of the other here for the MongolZ, but even when they win, it's incredibly close. And once again, as they start the round, shut down on their opening play. Every time they want to be aggressive at the same time as 3D Max, it's 3D Max who are better. It's a pretty insane win to potentially add to their Anubis resume. They're almost getting 3 birds stoned at once with this win, Connor.
All 3. Hang on tight.
Some PC bud.
Able to disengage from it. Frag in the face of Blitz. He'll have to chew on that. We've got bodies inside sight. We got flashes in their eyes. Body trying to hide as Lucky still white. Doesn't get himself the second. 9-10 into the challenge. Body emerging from back plat. Dropped by MongolZ. Man advantage off that one. MongolZ look like they've collected yet another round. The hope is high for this overtime.
Shed their inhibitions a little bit, running free. But even still, like, you've got 3D Max at least getting 1 apiece, no matter what, constantly a threat. They've certainly got more multis here, but MongolZ will pick up another round. There's nothing fancy about it. Simple B attack and some good follow through. But unless the second player hits a positive score line here for the Mongols, I don't think there's anything really to talk about.
We'll take it round by round. Money still yet to waver here for 3D Max. Good extra cash on Maka. Spread the wealth. Let's try to stay tuned in with the game. See what kind of changeup comes through.
Gotta love how involved Wising's attacks are, and I think that sort of every moment where he comes in is the right one. Right before it feels like things could go wrong, as opposed to right after it's a little bit too late. Haven't always seen the success after their attack pauses, but he's got ideas.
Zen playing for long A. This is the understaffed site for 3D Max.
They're getting ready to go behind. They were getting ready to go behind this. 910's waiting for a flash to come in. Okay, that utility is beautiful. They just get the audible off it, which is important.
910 right back to the hunting grounds, though.
Yeah, the op's not left.
XRC starting to drop his utility in the same position as the first volley. Molly out for 3D Max to have to deal with. He'll sit on it, and then he tries to swing. 910's been ready for that one all round long.
Right. And, I mean, he knows the Molly doesn't cover that option. Two-player push here. Now it's a little scary here for 3D Max. They get spotted. Oh, both down by Blitz.
Beautiful. 22 frags to his name, back towards middle for the triple, and he will nail it. Maka down to the 9 health that's left for this in-game leader, taking charge of the scenario. Bomb plant undeniable. Oh, and Blitz has got the quad, the headshot for the road.
Touchdown.
3 straight out of the Mongols. 3 away from overtime.
Number of quality rounds out of Blitz. A lot's helped out by this first kill, however, from 910, but yeah, talking about spray transfers, man. Look at him go. The final tap, too. Peekaboo.
Triple nade set up for 3D Max, coming out of spawn with an idea. Nobody home. There you go. Very nice.
Not.
That's a limitation for 910, but it's everything they had. Pistol challenge over the bridge. No, don't close like this. Wide swing out from them. Blitz down. Exorcise has made the difference to grab the gun, the bomb on top. Oh, that's the move.
They can go for the big spread. Lucky's on a 5-7, but he's in an unknown spot.
These sorts of round wins have not been coming through for either team. Force buys have not been a part of the conversation. 3D Max's first nade missed.
7 bullets for Senzu.
This is not ideal. Lucky still yet to join up. It's all about Mzinho and Senzu being able to tether and not being caught by Exorcise, who was playing lights out in the first 2 maps.
Oh!
It gets away from him. They join forces. Now Lucky's 5-7 to make the difference. Both players run down on him, and Senzu will make sure that they don't lose on that.
10-on-10 awareness out of Senzu for each of those fights. Had to be in those first few bullets, though. 7 bullets on the swing to Exorcise, who made a very pragmatic rotation through spawn, but at the same time, because Senzu waited it out, you could expect him to get there. A close call, but I don't think Mongols are actually that worried about close calls anymore. Economy starts to matter less and less. Round 23. Another chance to bottom them out. Oh, push is perfect. No trade.
3D Max trying to fight this with some aggression, trying to end it inside regulation. Op is on its angle, jump over, denies him the chance to strike a player down. Long A fight for Mzinho, low health, the lineup, Gravity able to get the 4v2 established. We saw 5 rounds in regulation of Ancient for the Mongols to win the only map so far for them in the series. And now you've got to recover this, but it doesn't look possible. 3 straight 2-0 wins for the Mongols over 3D Max. 9 months since their last win in this head-to-head. And it's not just a map by the looks of it, a match in the opening day of PGL Bucharest. Favorites, we called them. And 3D Max find form to make up for their previous event's slow start. Losing to Tai Lu in Stockholm put a dent in the reputation of 3D Max. And Techno, all that stands between them, triple up between him and the bomb. Tries to cut off one play. This is where it ends. They've done it. 3 flat matches, but not today.
Yeah, absolutely perfect if you're 3D Max. They don't care if it's a bit scruffy and scrappy. They've taken down a top team. It was their first win, I think, over the Mongols lineup as well. So just great job for them. And obviously, we'll start by talking about Mongols definitely looking off their game. This isn't what we associate with them. We set them up at the top of the show as being one of the favorites. This is a tournament they have to win. They need to start thinking about trophies. They looked unbelievably sloppy here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it started on Inferno, where you really started to notice it on both sides of the map. And then here on Anubis, you know, it's one of those maps that is definitely very heavily T-sided. We know that. But there were opportunities for them to do a little bit more on that defensive side in the first half than what they wound up with. And while there was a bit of a recovery on their T-side here, still, I feel like some of the key guys just didn't show up consistently enough for me throughout this series for Mongols.
I feel like a few of them were just disconnected from what their team was doing. There was an instance where Mzinho has an opportunity to get a trade kill on Namaka, who's looking for an opening pick out of B main, or A main that is, just doesn't even swing. And then I think at the camera showed him reacting to himself not trading, and he was like, ah, or something. And it's like, he knows he's messing up, and he's getting frustrated live, and then he's forcing fights that he doesn't need to be forcing. Like, this was a weirdly frustrated Mongols, one that the lack of